Mm-hmm.
Good morning, great day. It's Feng Shui Friday.
Look at us. We have our singing voices on today. It must be because we're getting ready to welcome Canada's Got Talent. Beatrice Love is coming to our stage in Red Deer tomorrow. Anyways,
let's back up a second. Who are we? You know that sign?
I know that was a side note because I'm trying to find our thing so I can do the thing.
Okay. Well, you find the thing to do the thing. And while she's doing that, I'll just let you know we are all in alignment. That banner behind the thing over there, her head, yeah, that does say all in alignment there. Coming to you as we do every Friday morning from, well, our respective homes.
Okay, there, I'm good.
All right. So yay. Great morning, my incredible, amazing, multi-talented, multi-faceted, organizing, holy man, I appreciate this woman so much, Anita Adrain.
Woo! And you know, usually I would just say thank you. Well, I'm going to say thank you. I'll receive that, but I also have to, ditto that because this gal, I'll tell you what, we have been working all week. We have been up till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and she has had computer challenges, and she has put together amazing PowerPoints and slides. And I mean, just the sheer amount of stuff that this woman has done is absolutely incredible. So together together we make a great team. And Paula, good morning. We get to hug you tomorrow. Woo, woo, yay. We have so many of our dear hearts. I mean, this is just incredible, and we have to say, okay, so here, Cheryl and I are in Red Deer, Alberta. Mm-hmm. We are putting on a international event, in my opinion, tomorrow 100%. And Sunday. We have incredible world-class speakers coming to our stage, and I am just in awe of the people that are traveling. We have one lady that is driving 12 hours. Paula, I don't know how many hours it's taking you to drive here. Probably
a good 8
hours.
6 or 8, yeah.
We have a lady flying in from Washington, D.C. We have a woman flying in from Denver, Colorado, from Houston, Texas. I mean, we have women flying in from British Columbia. And you know what? I'm going to just say this. If you are listening to this today, right now, October 2021, and you live within 50 miles or 100 miles of Red Deer, I'm telling you, you're going to hear about this from your, BFFs, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, you should have been there. You should have been there. So if you even had a little inkling, a little whisper that you wanted to be there, we still have tickets. We're going to welcome everyone in. If they want to get a last minute ticket, no problem. We're not saying no to anybody. So that's my commercial.
There you go. And it's a pretty darn good commercial too, I have to admit, because not only are we doing the 2-day event, Saturday night is also an extremely special event. So maybe you're busy during the day. We totally get that. But Saturday night, awaken the divine feminine energy. And I have to say, I am so excited for this. Because there is going to be such a shift after that event, during and after. Huge shout out to our sound alchemist, Tara Hardy.
Oh, absolutely.
Who is traveling 4-ish hours to be here. She was in the area last night doing a sound bath, I believe it was. I thought of that this morning, Tara. I thought of you at 2 a.m. and I went, oh my gosh, I completely missed it. So my apologies for that. Didn't even make my radar till way past time. Anyway, she has done such a phenomenal job of promoting this event. And it's
Oh.
bringing so many women from border city area of Lloydminster, Alberta, Saskatchewan /
Yep.
Amazing. I just want to give her a great big hug and a big shout out. So
Yeah,
and then our beloved friend David that is facilitating tomorrow night. So exciting. And on top of that, so there's actually 3 events going on at the same time. Just so you know, Anita and I are up to.
Yeah. Because it's like go big or go home, right? So that's how we dream big.
Yes, we do. We're also having the Heartland Market at the same time, and that's open to the public. You don't need a ticket for that, but you do for the other 2. So just an FYI. All right, there's our commercial for today. 7 minutes later. All right. Well, good morning. Joining us. I've had 2 cards come out, and you know what? They're in sequence.
Oh,
7 and
okay.
37, number 37, bathrooms. And number 38, hallways and stairs.
Oh, okay.
Which I find very interesting. Anyway, we'll see where that takes us. The third one is, waiting to appear. So
well, and you know what? Maybe there isn't a third one today. Who knows?
Oh yeah, there is.
Good morning, Janet. Nice to have you here. So yeah, that's bathrooms, right? I mean, we've often talked about bathrooms and the importance that they play in the home. And again, you know what? Sometimes it's a reminder for us to all go and look at our bathroom with our feng shui eyes and make sure that the toilet lid is down. Keep the shower curtain closed. I was, where the heck was I recently? I don't know, somewhere in someone's bathroom. And I went to grab, the toilet paper. And in doing so, a whole bunch of bottles that were stacked on the side of the bathtub, behind the shower curtain, my hand touched them and they went flying. So I'm like, I got to put those back up there, and they were empty. And our teacher, beautiful friend, Tara Catherine Collins, she calls those dead soldiers. Okay. So in the bathroom, in the bathtub, quite often there's a little shelf or a little container storage area. And what do you need there? You need to have shampoo, cream rinse, and body wash. 3 things, right? And maybe 6 things, because maybe your husband or somebody else likes the other one. Or if you have a family of teenagers, there could be. But the thing is here is those empty bottles that are dead soldiers, right? So they are just enhancing that not so good chi that's in your bathroom. So we always want to make sure that the bathroom is fresh and alive, and that we don't have any dead soldiers. And what's underneath the sink?
I was
behind there.
What's underneath the sink? Mine needs attention. That 21-day decluttering program that we're starting next week. Guess what's on my list?
Oh, yeah. And
it happens.
Yeah. And so it's all of those things that need to be, looked at. So, I think for me, that's why bathroom card came up today, but also it represents the water element.
Yes.
And that's about going with the flow of
That's why it came up today.
It's raining out. And we have been going with the flow, correcting and continuing. Actually, you know, I was thinking about this morning, interestingly enough. Wow. That one of our speakers, Lady J.B. Owen, 28-time international best-selling author, she has carved her own way into the world. And I had this visual in my head this morning about, you know, the earth being flat, and that she over time, gradually over time, she has carved her own energy into the earth. And so now she has created this beautiful container, this vessel where the energy just flows through it like a river, right? And I had that thing pop in my head this morning. So it's about going with the flow.
Absolutely. And this weekend, we are definitely going to be going with the flow. So the third card, that before we go to the other one, the hallways and stairs, a third one did come out, and I know exactly why this one came up. It's the number 14 card, gardens. Now, before Anita and I came on, well, yesterday, one of the many things we did was Anita was at my home. We did a bunch of stuff, but we also have some typical cold weather coming our way. And she went out into the garden. I gave her a little pail. Okay, I lied. I gave her a pail.
A big pail. Yeah.
And she was having so much fun. The joy that I could see in her creative juices getting ignited by cutting flowers, by cutting greens, by cutting herbs. And she turned around, she had a pail full. And those of you attending the event tomorrow will see what she did with it, her creative juices. But she turned around when this pail was full and looked over at the Gerbera daisies, not the flowers, but the foliage, and went, I've never worked with that before. And instantly cut some of them to work with for the first time. She was in such an inspired state, and the garden will help do that to you. Some of that inspiration doesn't come from the pretty flowers, but the supporting information, the supporting system that goes into creating those flowers. They're the end result. But what's that structure surrounding them? What is that support system surrounding them?
That's a great observation, because you will see, Paula, you'll see tomorrow for sure, that you're right. I was inspired by being in the garden, and the other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to save them all, knowing that Jack Frost is coming to visit, you know, in a big way in the next week. I was like, I want to just save them all. And because you know what, their energy, and they're part of the earth, the soil of the earth, and all of that beautiful foliage, greenery, texture, smell. The smell was,
her vehicle driving home would have been very, very divine.
Yes. And now my garage is, because that's my design room for the day. But anyways, and it's okay to, and I was also actually, when I got home later, I actually had to go to one of the rental properties and dig some plants into the ground over there. And when I was covering them up with the dirt, I said, good night, have a good sleep over the winter. I'll see you in the spring. And plants are living things, just like your pets are, right? And there has actually been some amazing studies done where they can record the vibration or the frequency of plants, and that plants communicate with each other. So It's okay to talk to your plants. Talk to them.
Oh,
They'll love you for it. You can just say, oh, hello, good morning, beautiful. Look at you, right?
yeah. Interesting enough, and I want to carry on down that road for a little bit. It was in the 80s that they did a study at one of the schools, and they took two identical plants, encased both of them so that no one could physically touch the plants. And on one, they hung the sign of speak to me in a very negative tone. I don't remember the exact verbiage, but be mean to me, basically. And on the
Hmm.
other one, they had love me up, something along, be nice to me. So be mean and
Yep.
be nice. And they had the students every time they were outside or walk by intentionally go to the plant, one plant that says be mean to me and be just rude and nasty to it, and to the other one. What that study showed the students was how much our energy can affect something that we cannot touch,
Mm-hmm.
including the plants. So that's just bringing to light, Anita, what you were just talking about, because as you can well imagine, the one that was encouraged and loved flourished,
Mm-hmm.
and the one that was not did not. It
Mm-hmm.
died. We're all
And Dr. Emoto, right?
Mhm.
If you're not familiar,
With his work.
research Dr. Emoto. He did the same thing in a Japanese university with water and with rice. And then all of that was measured, the water especially was measured under an intense microscope, and lots of great information there.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Hallways and stairways.
mhm, mhm. Well, again, that falls into that water theme, and it's about the stairway acts like a waterfall. And so the energy can flow down very, very quickly and or slow. So again, we always look at the results. So what is happening in your space in regards to hallways and stairways? Do people go down them very quickly, or is it just, what does it look like?
Meander. Yeah, meander. And what's at the end of the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you being greeted by? Would be my question. So if you've got a hallway and you're watching this, type in the chat. What's at the end of your hallway? What are you being greeted by?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if you're going down a hallway, you're on a destination.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a really short hallway, and at one end of the hallway is the laundry closet, and the other end of the hallway is our master bedroom. So very short hallway. But yeah, going down the stairs, I have two sets of stairs with a landing, so there's lots of stairs. And so I purposely at the landing have placed a couple of little vignettes, I call them, so that it helps you to just pause and just stop there for a moment. And I know it works because when
I do
my busy little grandchildren come here, and they go up the 8 stairs to the top of the landing, and then they stop because I have my big chakra chime, and they actually stop, they grab the mallet, and they'll go ding, ding, ding. And then they go up the other 7 stairs or 8 or how many are there is.
Yeah.
So that's really, really cool, right? So
is.
it's an invitation for them to stop and
Slow
just be grounded, even if it's just like half a minute. And sometimes that's all it is. And then they continue up the stairs and, go into their room and get the coloring or whatever they wanted, anyway. So
whatever their adventure, wherever their adventure is leading them, and what that's going on to, and what that looks like.
yeah.
Right?
And then, your hallway, Cheryl, you don't have stairs in your hallway, but you have created some little vignettes that people could also do going down a staircase as well.
Yes, absolutely. The thing with going down the staircase, though, is create whatever you're going to hang on a horizontal plane, not mimicking the stairs, because that increases the energy. Right? How I've done mine, and I'm going to point it out. Most people wouldn't know this, but when I'm sitting in my office and I look out the hallway, because I want to be in the command position in my office, there's pictures and there's imagery strategically placed that inspire me. So if I pause, what word do I want? And I'll look out into my hallway and see images of the bird bath, see images of a water fountain, right? So see greenery, and of course my grandbaby is there too. So they're images that inspire me as well from a different perspective. So it's not always what you're seeing when you go down the hallway, but in the bathroom, when you're seated and the door is open, what are you looking out to? Right? It's that prime real estate that we talk about. What's in this range, wherever you are, when you're seated and when you're walking, because that's your prime real estate.
Okay, so I just want to, because I mean, there are a few people listening and tuning in with us today that are not going to be with us for our Power of an Unstoppable Woman event, but and I don't have the privy to the information. Cheryl's been working with the presenters, speakers, getting their slide presentations and all of that stuff. And I'm just curious. We have one of our speakers, Summer is her name, and she is going to be talking to us about eyes. But I'm just curious, in her presentation, did you see anything about mention about a reticular activation?
Not in her images. So all I get is their PowerPoint imagery. I don't get their presentation per se.
Yeah.
But it's a lot about visual, right? That's her presentation. Eyesight is insight. Right.
Well, and you know what? I'm pretty sure she's going to talk about, the rack, reticular activation. And it's about, how our eyes are so important in receiving information. And then, you can just imagine that information coming in and the computer going.
And that's exactly why.
Then all that information has to then be sorted out and done. Something has to be done with it.
Yes. And that's exactly why I was up so late last night, because I tried to shut it down, but I had been literally on my computer from about 5 o'clock till 2. So it's a lot coming at you, and the coloring on your eyes, and the lighting and stuff like that. So
anyways, we're going to have some insight for you next week on that, because, we're always talking about where your eye goes, energy flows, and that's where your attention goes. And that's where we plant the seeds, or those subliminal messages. And of course, our presentation on Saturday is called Picture This. We are going to be going into some interesting things about that too. So,
as always, we're going to have an awful lot of fun.
We are going to have fun. We're going to be high vibing energy. And, it's whatever.
So before we wrap up, we've done a lot of Facebook Lives from some of our sponsors. And the one place we didn't get to was to Sylvan Lake Print Wizards. Yes. And I tell you what, from the get-go, Sarah and Steve at Print Wizards have been on the other end of receiving an awful lot of emails. Yeah, exactly, Anita. An awful lot of orders. Oh, I love that. It turned out so nice. Too close to the camera, and too fast, so nobody could actually read that. So just hold it up and hold it. Up a little higher. There you go. Yes, you are an unstoppable woman, and so is Sarah. Oh my gosh, they have done such an incredible job, down to the workbooklets and making edits for us. Because I had, like Anita said, computer issues. I literally had to buy a new laptop and start fresh yesterday.
But guess what? We went with the flow. You just go with the flow. And you know what? It always works out in the end. And we just didn't, you know what? I mean, there might have been some small moments this week, Cheryl, that maybe you have felt some frustration but then you know what? We just brought it back to,
Why
we
are
are
we
so
doing this?
grateful. We are so grateful. We're
And
so
why are we
grateful.
doing this? Why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's goes back to your why about anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this to start shifting the energy, creating sacred spaces. Exactly what's over Anita's left shoulder. And it starts at home, and then it ripples out.
Well, and you know what? It's that other, taking that inspired action, right?
100%.
And we've just had to do a whole lot of trusting with this whole thing. And
A lot less controlling.
And we've looked for guidance. So and we always end our Feng Shui Friday with numbers, right?
Yes.
Because we know that energy is in all things and it's speaking to us, and it's just up to us to put on our energetic eyes and pay attention. And so quite often in the last couple of months, when Cheryl and I have had a planning meeting, or we've been making a decision on something, and then, so we talk about it, and then we just happen to glance over and the clock says 2:22. Or the clock says 9:11, or it says 11:11. I mean, that has happened to us so many times. 3:33, 4:44. I mean, so as soon as, we're having that discussion, or we're having to make a decision or whatever, and then we look over and we see one of those angel numbers, we go, thank you, Spirit. That's our confirmation that we are in the flow. We're on the right path. We just have to trust the process.
Yes. So we have the numbers 38, which is an 11. The number 37, which is 10.
Yeah.
So together that's 21. Am I correct? And 14, which is a 5. So 21 and 5 is 26. And together they make 8. Like going with the flow.
Going with the flow, and that number 8. And again, so yesterday when we were doing some stuff for the Divine Awaken the Divine Feminine evening event with David T. Gross, I picked up my phone and had to go through some notes with Cheryl, and he referenced the toroidal field or Taurus field energy, which is in essence a letter 8, a number 8.
Yeah, exactly. So just a couple bullet points from Adrain on the shape. The 8 by itself represents abundance, a lucky number, wealth in all things in addition to money, the constant ebb and flow of all things. To wrap up our watery bathrooms, watery staircase, water outside in the garden.
Well, and we have water outside in Alberta.
Yep, right now. You betcha. Water anyway, there's water. So grab a glass of water, grab a spoon or whatever, and do the figure 8 and bless that water before you have a sip, because your blessing of that water shifts the crystalline structure of it and makes it healthier for you and your body.
And your plants. You can do that for your plants. They're going to love you for it.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining us. And like I say, if you're listening to this, if it's a replay, go #replay, share it out. If you are within 50 miles or 100 miles of Red Deer, Alberta, this weekend, October 21, 22, get your BFFs over there. And
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, we are going to we're going to let people come in
They can get
Saturday
tickets
morning.
at the
We'll take
door. Yep.
registration Sunday morning, whatever it is. We got world-class speakers and we got lots of fun happening.
We got an event like no other.
That's it. And again, yeah, have a great weekend, everyone.